Autism is a lifelong neurodevelopmental condition that affects about 1 in 100 people in the UK. It leads to people having what might be considered a different cognitive style, and that means that they will experience the world in different ways. That might be different social communication ways of expressing themselves. It might be processing sensory information in a different way, and it might be a desire to keep the world structured in a way that is clear and has clear routines.
To me, autism is simply a different way of being, a way of thinking, a way of experiencing the world. It's almost like I'm wired differently to non-autistic people. My brain works differently, and I see, feel, hear and experience everything differently to somebody who's neurotypical.
It's a spectrum condition, and that means that it will be different for each individual. In fact, it might even be different for each individual depending on the context.
To me, autism is less of a 2D spectrum. It's more of, I see it as kind of like a sphere, like a colour wheel, but as a sphere. So whilst one person's blue may be a little bit greener than someone else's blue might be more purple than someone else's, and the different tones are kind of the different ways that a symptom of autism can manifest in a different person.
So autism falls into a wider umbrella term called neurodiversity, and this incorporates a whole range of neurodiverse ways of seeing and experiencing the world that includes dyslexia, ADHD, dyspraxia, OCD, and it speaks to the fact that there is diversity and that we need diversity in society, in the world, in nature. That's a good thing to have diversity, and if we didn't have it, we would be less off as a species.
My personal belief is it's a way that it's a way that human society has evolved. If it wasn't for autism, for the differences in how people's brains work, then we would probably still be up a tree or on the African plains or something. We wouldn't have evolved, because you need that difference in thinking in order to think of, okay, wow, why would somebody knock two rocks together to create fire? Why would you even think of that? But somebody's brain works slightly different to the other people's, and they decided to knock those rocks together and make fire.
So diversity is a positive thing, and autism is a part of that. So it's about understanding that people's neurological makeup is diverse, and that diversity is a positive thing in society and for all of us, that it brings with it neurological differences, but it equally has neurological strengths. Those strengths might be the ability to focus in intense detail on particular issues. It might be the capacity to hold attention for long periods of time and on one particular task. It might be a real capacity to see the details that other people would miss. It's about creativity and seeing the world and being able to spot and think about things in different ways that nobody else would have done, as well as remembering long and sometimes elaborate routines in that kind of long-term memory. So there's a whole range of strengths that also go alongside some of the difficulties that we often associate with autism. And I think what's important is to see the balance in that.